A heart-stopping moment last time out for Matt Luna. Praying for a better day here in PA. Hillclimb is coming your way. Welcome back to Steel City, Pennsylvania. The Bushkill Valley Motorcycle Club is putting on Hillclimb number 2 for 2009. It is round 5 for the AMA Hillclimb Championship, and lots of folks are rolling in on their motorcycles in order to enjoy a beautiful late summer, early fall, whatever you want to call it. Lots of stuff to eat. I'm Brian Drever. Glad you could join us once again here in Steel City. Got lots to show you in 2 different classes, both extreme and unlimited. The riders checking out the conditions down at the start. That's Chris Van Heining from Dansville, New York. We were there not long ago where he was one of the local favorites. There's a look at the hill in the background, and it is indeed a wonderful day. Only 10 points separating the top 4 riders in this extreme Hillclimb Championship. Nathan Redmond won last time out here.
I'm doing a lot better than last year, riding Dr. Bob's bike, so it's going good so far. Hopefully I can keep it going this weekend. I was really happy with my first, well, all my races, but coming out and winning the first 2 races felt really good, especially on the new 4-cylinder. Never ridden a 4-cylinder before, so felt good. I'm just trying to adjust to the big bike still, 1,000. You got quite a bit of power, so just trying to get that under control. Yeah, just trying to figure it out still on the big bike. Points are getting down, getting close, so got to make them count each race. Got to be up there in the top 3 at least, so you can keep your points up.
The man tuning those fast Yamahas for Nathan Redmond is known only as Dr. Bob.
He's in first now, but we have 3 more races, 2 after this one, and I'd like to keep him up there in first for his first year on it. That would be a great accomplishment for Nate. I made the 800s into 1000s, and I made this R6 from a 540 to 600. But the first hill climb of the year, we broke 2 rods in it, ruined the cases. So I had to put the 540 back in, and he won a race with a 540 in it, and he finished second at the other one. So we're going to let the 540 in it for the year. The same plans. Really haven't changed the gearing on them. If the guys ride them the way they're capable of riding them, and the bikes will perform. So hopefully we'll have a good day.
Anthony DeHart won a championship for Dr. Bob a few years back. He welcomes his own dad back this weekend.
I should hopefully do well today. My dad's back from all of his surgeries and stuff, so this is one of my favorite hills, so hopefully the day goes pretty good. I've been up on the hill shoveling for about 30 minutes. So it's looking pretty good. There's a lot of moisture in the hill, so it should be a pretty fast day.
And that's what the crowd has come here to see as they gather in the sunshine down at the bottom. Phil Liphart, the defending Extreme champion, sits atop the Unlimited point standings, while defending Unlimited champ Walter Tiger Strength is down at 9th.
Last year in the fall we were here, it was like this, and it was really fast. Like, it was a whole bunch of us in the low 8-second bracket, so it's usually good when it's like this because it doesn't get ripped up so bad, and you'll have all the dust so you can see what's going on, and so it'll be a good show for the crowd, and it's a perfect day for racing. I got my first win ever here, like in '98, and it took me 10 years to do it again. So hopefully it doesn't take me another 10 years to do it again.
Lots of variables for the hill climbers. As they don't get any practice, they can go up on the hill and have a look or shovel dirt like Anthony DeHart said, but whether they use paddles, chains, or whatever is up to the rider's choice. Last time out in Unlimited, it was Sean Farnsworth the winner, so he's signing lots of autographs.
Phil, he's Mr. Consistent, and he's a good rider, and plus Alex is creeping up on me too, so those guys are great riders, and it's been fun to be able to be in the mix with them for sure. So nothing I ever expected, but I tell you what, I love it. I want to keep on going with it. So I got to thank everybody on my team for helping out, and this Harley is something to talk about. It's got so much power. It's so much fun to ride. It's been a fun year so far. Hopefully I can keep it up. Well, the plan is I'm going to try doing the same thing I did last time. I won here. It was just my first win, and hopefully I can pull it off again today. I think I'm going to sneak up to the left-hand side this time and see if I can get a little faster. We got the small Harley this time too, so I'm hoping we can pull off a win on that one as well.
Motorcycle guys have a way of helping each other out regardless of what their own personal interest might be, and Jerry Bennett's got a crewman that just set a record at Bonneville.
My name's Lynn. I'm help Jerry Bennett, pit crew. I went to Bonneville, run a 650 production bike. Took a class record for 168.5 miles an hour, two-way average. First mile is kind of you're getting it up to speed. The second mile goes by pretty fast. You're going 160. You come in at a mile and you just line up with the flags and hope things stays together. You look at the tack, look at the speedo, keep thinking, am I on it? Am I on it? I knew the 171 was fast. You can feel that. And the other ones, I had two bad ones at 165. But that's, you know when the tire starts to slip, and you know when it starts to spin. That's when you got to let off, pull the clutch in. You feel the bike moving. You feel that you get crosswind the way the winds move around. And once you get going, you're thinking, I can't let off. And you see the flags coming up. You go, where's the start of the mile? 22.5 seconds, I think, is what the mile takes. When you stop, you realize how fast you were going. Well, once you get up to speed, you're going along and 170 mile an hour. Flags go by, flags go by, flags go by. You're down below the windscreen, so you're looking through that, which isn't the greatest visibility. And you try to make sure it's equal distance on the flags. They're about 250 feet apart. Just aim and look at what you got to look at. It's more important to look at the tack and the speedo. So if things are going wrong with the tire, you realize it. And then you get through the mile, you go like, I think you start to breathe then.
Well, the business at hand is hill climbing here as the Bushkill Valley Motorcycle Club puts on their second race of the year, and we are ready. Hope you are too. Hillclimb on MAV is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles, and by Lucas Oil Products, made in the USA and sold to the world. Well, the crowd is ready as it turns out, and they're all trying to find a seat as the starting order has been determined, and Chris Wall from Ontario, New York gets to go first on his Honda, so he launches it up the hill over the first little kicker, trying to stay on the gas. Lots of grass on the hill right now. That'll change as the day goes on, but you heard Anthony say, and so did Phil Libhart, moisture in the hill should keep it in pretty consistent shape. Most of these guys love this hill as they coming right at you over the top. Goes Chris Wall, his first run, 14:36. There's room for improvement there, and we expect to see faster times, especially from a guy like Paul Copps out of Twin Lake, Michigan on his Harley Davidson-powered machine. We've chronicled the sort of bad luck that Copps has had all season long. This is a guy used to winning, and let's see if he can get back to his winning ways. Looking pretty good on the bottom half of the hill, carrying a lot more speed than Wall did through the finish line. 12:07 for Copps, so yes indeed, in a couple of seconds right off the bat as he rolls the paddle tire up there. Chris Van Heining saw him inspecting the course early on. He's on a Honda out of Dansville, New York. Key to stay on the gas, a lot like offshore racing. The only time you want to be on the gas is when you got grip, when the prop's in the water, in this case when the tire's on the ground. So Van Heining is feathering that throttle up the hill. He's going 12 seconds, but a little slower than Copps at a 12:73 for Chris Van Heining. 2 runs gives these guys a second chance, and here is Matt Anthony. He's got the mohawk under the helmet too as he takes off. You know he's going to be entertaining. He's got that busy style, working that throttle, working that bike back and forth. Anthony DeHart out of Michigan on his Honda, over the top, under 12 seconds. He's going 11:49 to set a new mark to beat. Doesn't look all that happy with it. Maybe figures he can go a little bit quicker next time around. Nathan Redmond, once again, on Dr. Bob's bike. He's got a bright, colorful outfit going on as He's taking a good look at it, carrying the number 3. That's where he finished in the championship. Big wheelie right there. Redmond's got his legs all over the place. He is paddling his way to the top of the hill. And once again throws down a great time, 10:87. He goes almost a full second quicker than DeHart, so that mark to beat didn't last very long. Shane Green, he's got problems on the start, and that is going to be a no start for Shane Green. So they're going to push that bike away and see if they can make some repairs, get him out there for the second run. Crowd enjoying what they're seeing so far, and Tiger Strength coming up next. Finished runner-up in the championship a year ago, riding for Dr. Bob. He's running his own equipment this year, both classes. And Tiger Strength, always impressive, very smooth. And as he crosses the tape, up to the shutoff area, 12.11. And he'll need to improve on that. The Tiger Man with the tiger tail hanging out from under his helmet. We go to Scott Campbell, the West Virginia veteran, as Campbell is going to crank up his Honda, see if he can run it to the top. Two-stroke machine for Campbell. Some of these guys choosing the 4 strokes and others sticking with that crazy power that 2 strokes make. Campbell over the top at a 13:47. So room for improvement there. He doesn't waste any time taking the outroad back to the bottom. Matt Luna podiumed here at Steel City the last time out. And let's see if he's got another podium. Nope, that's not going to get it right there. In fact, he couldn't catch it as it low-sided off on the low side of the hill. 254 feet, that's it for Matt Luna on this one. Well, not all the fans are carefully watching the action. Some of them are just enjoying being a kid. Ah, yes, a cold adult malt beverage is always a good accompaniment to hill climbing, and it seems as though that's a pretty popular way to spend the afternoon. As Mike Livingston from the state capital of Harrisburg gets ready to go. Phil Libhart running over there to make some last-minute preparations and help. These guys have a way of helping each other. Livingston is spraying for mosquitoes on the way up. Oh, that was a tough landing. Hill workers are scattering, but Livingston gathers it back up again. The only problem is he lost a lot of momentum, and now he's just digging a ditch, and that's as far as he's going. 360 feet, trying to bulldog that thing back down the hill. Take another look at this, how it went wrong right there. Oh, and that was probably a little painful in the gentleman region for him as well, as Greg Coyne sees if he can put on a little bit better performance than that. He's also on a Honda, and Greg Coyne from Boyertown, PA, heading up the hill. Gets a little crossed up. Now he's over there in the course markers, working his way back to his right, our left. Gathers it up in control, working that throttle. He's in the spot where Livingston bogged down, but he's going to make it just a little bit farther. In fact, he might, just from sheer determination, make it over the finish line, and he does. Not exactly a record-setting time, but you know what? Greg Coyne's pretty happy that he got there. 24-1, he'll take it. Back to the bottom again. Colby McCutcheon out of Ripley, West Virginia. He's running a Triumph, not unlike Libhart. And McCutcheon. Oh, that was a pretty tough landing right there, but the suspension absorbed most of it. Not that time, though. He had to take up a little bit of the slack with his body as he hippity hops up the hill. Colby McCutcheon, 14-123 to be a little more exact as he shuts it down. And Kevin Cox draws the next start position. He's out of Huntington, Maryland on a Kawasaki. First green bike we've seen here in the extreme class. Tough landing right there. That spot's going to catch a lot of guys out. You really have to be ready for it off that second kicker. Up over the top of this one he comes and through the stripe. 13:25, climbs off, shuts it down, and thinking about the second run already. Gary Bauer out of Pittsburgh, also on a Honda. Rears back and turns it loose. Working his way over towards the left side markers. That seems to be where the guys want to go. in spite of a little bit of a challenge. So as Bauer makes his way over the top, 16:69 for Gary Bauer on his first run, and all these guys are thinking about run number 2 already. They know this is really their first look at the hill on the machine. Phil Libhart with lots of interested parties watching him. Oh, he went nose down off that first kicker right there and has to recover from that just a little bit. Libhart's going to give up a bit of time down at the bottom of the hill, so he's trying to make it up on the top. Got a wild ride going and manages to poke the wheels over the brow of that at 12:4:22 for Libhart. Disappointing run, and you know he's got more. Let's take a look. He nosed it over down at the bottom of the hill. Then he's looking pretty straight going on. He's probably thinking that time he lost at the bottom and a little bit right there at the top. It's going to have to be what he improves on next time around. Brother Todd's going to follow him and see if he can make it off a little bit better. A little gentler start for Todd Libhart as he eases into the throttle. Libhart on a similarly prepared Triumph machine. The Libhart guys love these Triumphs, and they had worked on them very hard over the years. Todd Libhart's going over the top with a 14:6:38. Pretty respectable time for the first run. Heads for the exit road, and back to the bottom as Sean Farnsworth takes over. Farnsworth, winner in the unlimited class last time out here back in June. Let's see how he does on the extreme bike. Sean Farnsworth out of New Hampshire, Harley-Davidson power under the plastic for him. Throwing rocks and dirt at the guys on the hill. They're ducking for cover. Up and over the top he goes. And Sean Farnsworth completes run number 1. Steps off the bike, gets ready to shut it down. 16:5:11. Not good enough to win. He's going to have to improve on the second run. So the folks are polishing up their own bikes, and here are the standings after the first run. We'll get ready for the second run, but we're going to see unlimited runs after this. Not only that, well, you can get your tattoos touched up if that's your taste. It's time for the big bikes. Unlimited first run coming up. Fans are enjoying refreshments and all of the things that a Hillclimb has to offer. The Bushkill Valley Club does a great job of providing a tremendous amount of entertainment as Chris Van Heining draws first run up the hill for Van Heining, the New Yorker. Yamaha powered machine. Chris Van Heining working it back and forth a little bit. Kind of reminds me of Anthony DeHart, the way he's rocking that bike side side. Over the pink stripe he goes. Van Heining with a 12:7:44 will pop up. There it is. Oh, hang on, Chris. You got to shut the thing down. There he goes. Chris Van Heining. And here comes Sean Farnsworth. Remember, Farnsworth, the winner in Unlimited last time out. Let's see if he can put a repeat performance together. Whoa, not like that. He's going out of bounds. And Farnsworth's tipping over in the weeds out there at 370 feet. They may have to call out the rescue squad to go get him. Take a look. He looked pretty good right here at the bottom, but then one little kick sideways, the thing crossed back on him, and off he goes for a tour of the Tulies. Paul Copps. He tends to like the Unlimited class just a little bit better. He's a big power kind of guy on that Harley-Davidson machine. Copps working it back and forth, gets himself in trouble over there in the same spot, not quite as far, 300 feet, and he face plants a course marker. He's all right, but lots of the catchers are scrambling over there to have a look. Take a look from the bottom. Watch him just plant himself right into the 300-foot marker. Headbutts it to the ground, and the bike's still running. Jerry Bennett with that Bonneville record. Crewman watching very interestedly at the bottom. These guys persist in running the left side of the hill over there in spite of seeing a couple of guys auger in. But it looks like Bennett's got something going here. He's going to make it all the way to the top. He survives the 300-foot mark and pokes his wheel at 14:071. Has a little something to say about it. Here comes Phil Libhart, the man leading in the points, and the defending Extreme champion from 2008. Libhart's got that Triumph ripping. Oh, he gets crossed up over there, runs over a course marker. Be interesting to see if they make the call on out of bounds right there. Apparently not. They're awarding him a time of 12:08.74 for Libhart, so not out of bounds. Took him a while to make that call, but Libhart's going to shut the Triumph down. And have a look. Nathan Redmond and Dr. Bob watching his big machine. You heard Redmond say he's still trying to come to terms with all the power that Dr. Bob's able to give him on this bike. Whoa, does a little Superman, but gathers it back up again, hangs onto the handlebars. And Redmond's entertaining the crowd for sure down at the bottom. They like that. Over the top he goes. He's got his own video to watch a little bit later on, but we're going to take another look at Nathan Redmond's run. A 13:101. Not going to win it, but he does have that second run to go. Oh, look at that. Up and over the bike. He just hangs onto the throttle. It rides back underneath of him. He lands in the seat somehow and manages to finish the run. Scott Campbell, Suzuki Power in the unlimited class. Digging a ditch in the water down there. Still a lot of groundwater. Rain has been all over the eastern part of the country for the last couple of weeks. And here in Steel City is no exception. He's not going any further than 345 feet. Having a look at just how the bike let him down. Take another look at it and see if we can figure it out. Did the chain come off? Tires all over the place. Running low. Yeah, he's got a problem with the rear tire there. It's come off the rim. The chain is just, the chain on the tire, that is definitely having a problem. So it looks like the air in the back tire went somewhere else. We got lots more coming up as they make preps down in the start area. Take a break, folks. We'll be right back. Action resumes here at Steel City with all eyes on the hill and handy cams and everything else to record the event for posterity. Here's Shane Green, finished 14th last time we were here in June. Let's see if he can improve on that. Did an 18-second run when he was here back then. Let's see. Oh, he's got something better going right now. Lots of speed, even if it's a little bit out of control. Shane Green has got his eyes on the top of the hill and doesn't care how he gets there. He did improve significantly on an 18-second run with an 11:05.8. That's going to put him pretty solidly among the leaders in this one as Alex Benner gets set to go. Oh, Benner's got some real power to the ground right now and all kinds of speed as Alex Benner's going to make a brilliant run to the top. Under 10 seconds, no way. Nobody's gotten anywhere near a 9:33, but Benner just put down a scintillating time. Over that first kicker, that was a key. He got the back wheel on the ground in a hurry and put all the power that the Honda had to offer. Makes a complete run, and Tiger Strength has got a tough act to follow right now on his #1 machine. He is the defending champion in Unlimited from a year ago, winning the title for Dr. Bob, running his own equipment here in 2009. He's got Monster Energy sponsorship. He's got a Honda underneath. And Tiger Strength is going over the top with a 12:05.88. More than 3 seconds slower than Alex Benner. Man, that was the run from some other planet. Again, Matt Luna, podium here in the Extreme class last time out. He rears back, turns it loose. Luna on the Kawasaki out of Muskegon, Michigan. And whoa, a little bit of a hitch right there at the end, but a sub 12-second run, 11:11 for Matt Luna. Nicely done. Back to the bottom, and Scott Wentz Jr. out of Johnstown. Suzuki Power for him. Oh, up and out of the saddle, back in it he lands. And the chains come off, the drive chain this time. And that'll certainly ruin your day, or certainly ruin your run. He'll have another chance at it, though. Second run's coming up a little bit later on. So now it's all eyes on Anthony DeHart. The Niles, Michigan Madman, heading for the top. There he goes. All kinds of wrist action, Both feet on the pegs, a wheelie across the line, and Anthony DeHart is showtime personified with a 10.74. That's a good time as well. And Colby McCutcheon will be our last man up the hill. You heard him get out of the throttle right there over that first kicker with the back wheel in the air. He's got to keep that rear tire on the ground in order for the throttle to do any good. Otherwise, it's just making noise and no forward motion. He makes a hard right turn into the weeds and into the vines. He's got grapevines all wrapped around his front wheel. So Colby McCutcheon makes the last run a good one for the crowd anyway and gives the catchers a little something to do. Alex Benner with that scintillating 9:33 leads by a bunch after run number 1. So we'll take another short break and come back. MavTV presents Hillclimb. Don't you love it? We're returning to the top of the order, and everybody's trying to find a good spot to watch. Exactly what they're watching, we're not sure, but it is going to be Extreme Runs number 2 when we go to Chris Wall once again, out of Ontario, New York. Wall with kind of a soft run up the left side there, as he is trying to improve on a 14.36 from the first run. He runs over the top with a nearly identical time, 14.38, just 0.02 of a second slower. And Paul Copps likewise trying to improve on a first run. He had a 12.07 the first time around. Oh, that's going to cost him some time right there, and he may have to use his first run, 12.07, to see where that puts him. He's still on the gas, breaks the tape, but it's going to be a 14.07 this time for Copps. Chris Van Heining, the New Yorker, Honda powered 12.73 the last time out. Van Heining, 5th place here back in June. He's going to have to hustle to see if he can match that performance, but he gets a pretty good run over the top. 12.57, a little quicker than his first run. And here's Anthony DeHart. Love watching Anthony. Anthony DeHart with an 11.49 the first time around. That's got him pretty high up the order. He's going over to the markers and stops at 275 feet. Looking down at the bike, not sure what happened. Maybe he isn't either exactly. But the catchers are over there to give him a hand. 275 feet's all he's going to do. We put the catchers in cages here at Steel City. Tiger Strank. 12.11 the first time around. Oh, cost him a little bit of time over there as he had to make a course correction very near the bottom of the hill. Gets the thing standing straight back up again. And he's improved his time. Tiger Strank with an 11.57 this time. Shuts it down. And doesn't have a whole lot to say. Sometimes he's going to mutter something at us. Scott Campbell. Nicely done right there. Planted the back wheel on the ground very well. 13.47 on his first run. Let's see if he can make a little bit better time this time out. Carries the front wheel over the pink tape and breaks it at 12.639. Matt Luna. Third place finish last time out. His first run a little disappointing. This one's even going to be more so. 254 the first time and only 150 feet up the hill. So not another podium for him. Some of the guys are talking about it. The ones who still have to run. Lots more when we come back. Welcome back. Some of the fans showing off. Is that a brand new tattoo or one she brought here today? Well, we're not sure, but anyway, it's nice. Mike Livingston, only 360 feet up the hill the first time around. Phil Libhart making some final adjustments for his buddy there. And Livingston's going to give it another run. 360 feet the first time around. Top 15 finish last time we were here back in June. And, oh, he managed to bring the front wheel back down again. Looked like he was going over backwards. but he's not going to make it to the top. Sort of tips over at 410 feet, and the catchers get a little something to do. Take another look at it from the bottom. There's a big old 12 o'clock wheelie on about an 11 o'clock hill, and well, he just couldn't quite gather it up from there. Off he went. Greg Coyne out of Boyertown, PA, Honda Power, 24 seconds. You might remember that. Slowest of the complete runs first time around, but he was determined to get to the top. And Greg Coyne showing that same kind of determination right now. Lands it with one big face yet to go, and he's still digging. It's all traction and horsepower, no momentum right now. He is just trying to make it one more time. He's going to have 2 complete runs, it looks like. Yes, over the tape he goes. And not only that, he's a little quicker this time, but he fell over right there at the last minute.
What do you want to do, up or down?
Greg Coyne, 22.55 this time, as he's struggling for traction with his boots now to get back to the bike. The catchers are going over there to put it on the hook. Kevin Cox out of Huntington, Maryland. Kevin Cox with a 13.25 the first time around. Studying his competitors to see if he can improve. Everybody's tight roping up the left side, and it's starting to get pretty worn out. Kevin Cox over the top, 12.518, significant improvement. We'll see where that puts him in the final standings as he shuts the Kawasaki down. Gary Bauer out of Pittsburgh on a Honda. Bauer at 16.69 the first time. Oh, that's going to cost him a little bit of time as he is paddle footing his way up there. You can see he's lost all kinds of momentum, and now he's having to fight for traction and do it all with just power. But he manages to get over the top. This time it's going to be 17.802 to be exact for Gary Bauer. And Phil Libhart. Let's see if he can manage to land on the podium here. Libhart with the triumph. Did a 12.42 the first time around. 10.87 is the mark to beat by Nathan Redmond. Libhart got a good run going. Let's see what the clock says. It doesn't lie. 11.65, an improvement. Whether it's good for a podium, we don't know. Brother Todd, 14.63 first time around. The Libhart guys going back to back. Todd managed a 14.63. He's got to get himself back onto the course there at about 250 feet. He does. Still digging. Crossed up a little bit over the pink stripe. And Libhart with a 13.76. Sean Farnsworth, our final runner in the extreme class, the last man who can beat Nathan Redmond. Let's see if he can do it. Farnsworth has been a winner here at Steel City. And a pretty good run, but not fast enough. He pops over the top, and Farnsworth reaches for the shutoff at a 13.38. So that sets our podium, and Nathan Redmond has repeated as a winner here with a 10.87 for Dr. Bob. Anthony DeHart, the runner-up, and Tiger Strength finishes third. Phil Libhart and Paul Copps rounding out the top 5. Todd Libhart the top 10, but here are the winners with the hardware. Nice job, guys.
It was pretty good. It got a little sideways in the bottom, but got straightened out and got going pretty well. So that's the best I've ever done in the small class. Having my dad back here with me is what made me ride better. So.
Nathan Redmond with a repeat win still sits atop the championship standings by 12 points over Phil Libhart, with Colby McCutcheon in the third place position. Strength down at 4th.
So I wanted to get a good ride out of the way. Usually this hill, by the second run, it really gets choppy through there, and the times usually do slow down. So I wanted to lay a good one down the first run to make sure I was up there. Smooth run, well, at least I thought. I do have a helmet cam on, so I'll be able to check out that to see exactly what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, it felt really smooth. So.
Well, the unlimited second runs are still to come, and it looks like the hill's holding up fairly well. And yep, they're rolling those big bikes out and getting ready to go again. Lots of folks enjoying a beautiful day here, catching some rays, touching up their tan, and the big train goes rumbling down the tracks right by. Some of the engineers and conductors getting a look at the hill climb here as Chris Van Heining takes off first. We return to the top of the order. Van Heining with a 12.74. This second run in Unlimited is going to give us an idea whether the hill is indeed holding up fairly well. Van Heining looking like he's going pretty quick to the top. And this time, though, a 13.125, about 4/10 of a second off of his first run. So we would have to say that the hill itself is in pretty good shape. Sean Farnsworth, a disappointing 370-foot run the first time around after winning this event back in June. He's got a little bit of pride on the line right now to see if he can pull it back together again. And it looks like he's doing a pretty good job. That's going to be a fast time as he pops over the top with a 10.74. Still a ways off the 9.33 set by Alex Benner, and I doubt if Benner's going to make a second run unless somebody gets even closer than that. Here's Paul Copps. 300 feet the first time around. A complete run would be a measure of success regardless of how fast it might be. And it looks like Copps is going to make it to the top this time around. Over the tape he goes. Cuts it in half at 12.152 for Copps. But he knows he's not having a winning kind of day. Here's Jerry Bennett. He's not going to go 170 miles an hour like his crew guy did at Bonneville. And in fact, he's not even going to make it all the way to the top. Bennett's going to pull the plug at 150 feet. Not sure why. Chain come off? Nope, chain's there, tires there. Jerry Bennett just couldn't get to the top. Here's Phil Libhart, 12.87 the first time around. The defending Extreme champion and current points leader in Unlimited needs a good performance. You heard Redmond say they got to finish first, second, and third to keep the points together, and Libhart's got a good run going. He pops over the top, and a significant improvement from 12.87 to 10.19. That's going to put him in second position right now behind the 9.33 by Alex Benner. Let's see if Nathan Redmond can pull something together. Redmond still trying to come to terms, as he said, with this powerful bike, and that's not going to do it. This time he doesn't hang on, as Nathan Redmond and the Dr. Bob Yamaha part company at 320 feet. Hard landing. I don't think it was the second landing that got him. I think it was that one. Oh, hit the back of the bike. And he's going to sit there and think about it for a few minutes. Nathan Redmond, the medical crew, the catchers are up there to handle the bike, and Dr. Bob's saying, maybe I need to back off on the tune on that thing just a little bit. It is a monster. Hillclimb is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles, and by Lucas Oil Products, made in the USA and sold to the world. Well, after all the excitement that Nathan Redmond just gave us, we are still running here at Steel City. And Scott Campbell draws the next start position. Oh, Campbell crossed up there but managed to save it. All he lost was a lot of momentum. He didn't lose his seat, didn't lose his grip. And Scott Campbell went 345 feet the first time. He makes a complete run at 13.699. Well off the pace of current leader Alex Benner. He got all crossed up down there at the bottom, and when you lose that forward drive, the rest of the run is going to be tough from there. With the big bikes, it's a little easier with all the power, as long as you can get it to the ground. Here's Shane Green. We saw him rolling his bike up just a few minutes ago, getting him ready to go for his second run. 11.05 the first time. Had him pretty solidly in the top 5. But let's see, Shane Green is having some difficulties here. He's got to steer it back onto the course, and it's costing him time every chance. So Shane Green at a 12.53, he'll stand on that first run. 11.05. Take another look at this. Looked pretty good at the bottom, and then right there into the face, he recovered somewhat, but then he was heading off at about 400 feet, had to bring it back straight again, makes it to 500, breaks the tape. Tiger strength, and indeed it was Benner's turn to go, but he's going to sit there and see if the multi-time champion, in fact the defending champion, carries the #1 plate and unseats him from the top spot in the Unlimited here today. Nice run, but not fast enough. Tiger Strang goes 10:41. That's got him third at the moment. He'll be reasonably happy with that as he shuts down the Monster Energy machine. Matt Luna. He's had a little bit of a disappointing day here so far. Highlight being his first run here in Unlimited, 11:11 for Matt Luna, the Muskegon, Michigan rider on his Kawasaki. But he's kind of tentative over there on the left side of the track. Digging pretty hard, but it's not going to be fast. In fact, 15:38, 4 seconds slower than he went the first time around. And here is Anthony DeHart, Mr. Excitement's getting ready to go again. He went 10:74, which has him currently in about 4th, maybe 5th position overall, and doesn't look like it's going to get any better for Big Anthony. Pretty happy with a podium spot in the extreme class, but he's not going to back it up here as he goes through the banner at 15:29. So Anthony DeHart. And finally it's Colby McCutcheon trying to improve on a 440-foot run the first time around. It's do or die, it's desperation time, and Colby McCutcheon has got a full wrap on the throttle this time. He keeps it pinned up and over the top. One little wheelie right there at the end, and an 11:04. That is a huge improvement, and he's got to be fairly happy about it.
There it was. 11:04, Frank. Say that again. 11:04.
Oh, well.
Not so happy, in fact. He had to wait for the time to be held the second time around. So Anthony DeHart's pulling the helmet off. He's got the mohawk under and over. Here are the final results. Alex Benner by nearly a full second over Libhart with Tiger Strength, the defending champ, rounding out the podium. DeHart 5th, Chris Van Heining the top 10. Here's a good look at the guys that are picking up the plaques and the bubbly from the Unlimited class. Let's hear from third place. First, that's Tiger.
New bike. Been having a lot of issues with the clutch on it. I think I went through about $400 in clutches in 2 races. Finally, I'm just tickled to death we finally got that ironed out. And I had Phil Libhart set my fuel injection for me yesterday. We were running pretty lean. And it wasn't wanting to shut off on me, which ain't a good thing. But we set that up. I know the pressure where it's got to be now. I know them clutches can work. Now all I got to do is get that suspension dialed in perfect. You know, that's it. That's the main thing, is that suspension. If you can get it to where you're just floating through them bumps, you're fine. But, you know, it's just, and there's no real place you can test these bikes out. So it's, you go race to race and make adjustments until you finally get it right. So hopefully I can get everything dialed in this year and then go next year and try to get my ‑1 plate back.
That's Hillclimbers for you, always looking ahead. Phil Libhart stays atop the chart. Benner close to ground with that beautiful win here today. Sean Farnsworth is sitting in 3rd spot, and it is still tight for the championship this season.
Well, this hill's typically won or lost between where you take off and the first jump. If you can get through everything clean, then you can carry some momentum to, you know, have some speed at the top. But all the guys that get out of shape and go all over the bottom, they don't have no momentum to carry you through the rest of the stuff at the top, because it gets pretty steep and there's a ton of traction. So if you drag your engine down, typically either you stand it up on the back wheel or you really keep clutching it to even keep going. On my extreme bike, I actually rode on the front wheel for probably 20 feet. Like, I didn't even know I was second until they went through the order. I thought, I'm 5th or something, think nothing of it.
But it was all Alex Benner for his first win of the season as Dr. Bob gets sprayed down.
Bike ran real good and had it straight and wide open. All came together. Felt good, so I figured I was right in it, but all worked out good, so I'm happy.
And we're happy that you could join us, and like the Hillclimbers, we're already looking forward to the next event. The White Rose Motorcycle Club gets their second shot at it. That's round 6 coming up here on MavTV. But we're still enjoying what we saw here today. Hope you did too. We had some wild rides, didn't we? And we had a great hill for competition. Lots of entertainment. in the extracurricular department and deserving winners in both of the pro classes.